The family has been devastated by this. Please spare a thought for them. But this has also ignited fears about the safety of journalists in the country. I mean, the media fraternity is worried. I think back in March, there was a group of journalists that said, here's 50,000 Rand as a reward for any leads on the couple's whereabouts. I think that amount has since increased to about 100,000 Rand, if I'm not mistaken. The police have told us this morning that there is some progress in this case. The police spokesperson said they are not able to speak to us this morning, but they said they'll release a statement. So as soon as they release that statement, I'll read it for you. There have been all sorts of reports about what could have happened to them. And again, spare a thought for the family that is sometimes even considering the worst and is maybe struggling to stay positive, because it's really difficult when you haven't heard or seen or even have the slightest idea of where your loved one could be. So we've invited Sifiso Ndlovu, who is the brother to this missing journalist, Ndlovu. I've invited the National Press Club as well, Belinda, Pheto, who will speak to us. But let's first start with Sifiso Ndlovu, who's joining us now on the line, just to get context of what really happened here. Sifiso, thank you so much for making time for us. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Clement?
I'm all right, man. I don't even know what to ask you as the family about how you're doing since the disappearance of your brother and his partner. I can only imagine how difficult this moment must be for you as a family. Just take us through first, how are you doing as the family? And two, what happened here? When last did you guys see Ezra?
The last time I saw him, it was on September last year, but we were talking on WhatsApp, so everything was fine. I don't know what happened, so I'm also not sure what's going on. Because we spoke to police, but the police, especially the police in Mpumalanga, they are not helping us. Maybe Gauteng, they are trying, but I'm not sure, because still now there's no arrest whatsoever. We're still waiting for them.
And has anybody come forward to the family to share, like, when last they spoke to him, and maybe something that gives you an idea of what could have transpired here?
I think so. I don't want to go deep into that information, but whatever information I get, I did told the police, but now we're still waiting for them. But no arrest, no question. We're still waiting. We still have questions. We don't know what happened actually. We're clueless actually.
Sure. And you know, and obviously, as I said to the listeners earlier, there have been all sorts of suggestions about the work that he was doing as a journalist. As a family, do you perhaps think, from at least the information you may have received or having assessed the work that he's done, do you think this may have something to do with his job as a journalist? Because some newspaper reports were indicating that he may have been a target of, you know, a group of feared extortionists that are operating there in Mamelodi.
You see that guy, the one from Soweto, you were referring to Soweto, that newspaper. No, that guy called me and then told me that he was speaking with my brother. They were going to Mpumalanga. My brother told him, but on that report, he said the family said he suspect extortion, which means there's no member of family who told that guy, that journalist. Actually, he's the one who came with that information, but on the report, he said the family suspects extortion, which means we're not sure what's going on. Actually, now we are doing this to the family. We don't know what happened.
Yeah, and maybe he'll indicate which family member he had spoken to. Okay, when last did the police?
He talked to me.
He spoke to you. Okay. Huh? When last did the police give you an update, Sifiso?
And the time the premier was at my house, I was there. That was the last time the police spoke to me.
Okay, and be like, who was the last family member to speak to Azrael before the disappearance, and was it on the day of the disappearance?
No, it was. I think it was 5 days, if I'm not mistaken. He spoke to my mom.
Oh.
But there's someone who spoke to him on the 18th February. He was telling her that I'm home safe.
Okay.
Unfortunately, from there, nothing at all.
Okay, and he's never shared anything about his life being in danger or his life being under threat. Nothing like that.
Nothing so ever.
Sure. Okay, Sifiso Ndlovu, thank you so much for speaking to us. Yeah, that's the brother to this missing journalist, Ezra Ndlovu. And I don't know if you're based in Mamelodi, what you're able to share with us based on what you're hearing on the ground. This is the guy who founded that Capital Live SAFM. And as I said, all sorts of suggestions, as you can imagine, about what could have transpired here. Other reports suggest that at the time of the disappearance, he was at a different location. Their girlfriend was at a different location. So did they disappear from separate locations? Did they come together? And that's when the disappearance happened. Nobody really knows what happened. And the police seem to suggest that they may have some progress. And hopefully as soon as they release that statement, that's going to guide us slightly on what progress they've made. But this is really sad. From February, you have got people that don't know where this journalist is together with his partner. Since February, that's a very long time. The family is devastated, but there are also questions about whether this may have something to do with the work he was doing as a journalist. If you're in Mamelodi, if you used to listen to Capital Live SAFM, and you may have some new information to us, please give us a call on 011-883-0702. After the break, I'll bring in Belinda Pheto, who's the National Press Club Deputy Chairperson.
702.
The Clement Manyathela Show.
Let's walk the talk.
22 minutes after 10 o'clock, we've been chatting this half hour about the case of this journalist from Pretoria who disappeared with his partner since February. His name is Ezra Ndlovu, and he was the founder of Capital Live SAFM. The police have been trying to figure out what's transpired here. We are told that there's a bit of progress that's being made in the investigation, but not much has been shared with us. But we truly hope that the police, more so for the sake of the family, that they are somehow making headways. Belinda Pheto is the National Press Club Deputy Chairperson joining us on the line. Belinda, thank you for making time. Good morning.
Morning, Clement.
So, first of all, what can you share with us about Aseri and the work that he's been doing? My understanding is that he was a member of the press club.
Yeah, Asari was a member of the press club, and he was not just an ordinary member. He was also an executive committee member, and he was also a member of the African Media Communicators Forum. He's the founder of his radio station in Mamelodi, and he was very big and passionate about community media, not just radio, even print media.
Yeah.
So he was really an advocate for, or he is an advocate for community media. He did all sorts of stories that you can think of. I think that.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Belinda. What do you guys know? I mean, as his colleagues, as even people at the press club, National Press Club, about this disappearance. Did you guys, any of you, speak to him just before? What did you understand? I mean, as soon as the disappearance happened, did you have any information? Because I know you had raised about 50,000 rand and asked that anybody who's got leads, that can be a reward. That money was increased. Have you had people coming through and offering to assist with information?
So far, it's nothing concrete. It's calls from Sangomas, spiritual people. So it's nothing concrete from a person who's coming forward to say that I know what happened, or this was the last person to be seen with them, or there's nothing concrete so far. And I think that's why we even went as far as trying to get donors to raise the reward money, hoping that with this 100,000 that we're offering, maybe someone out there who could be having the information will come forward with something concrete that the police can use.
Yeah. And what about the work that he was doing? As you can imagine, Belinda, there are people, I imagine the family is asking itself, does this disappearance have anything to do with the work he's done? There are people who followed his work, well, probably also wondering, could this have anything to do with the work that he's done? And I know the media fraternity is also concerned about, could there be threats on journalists? I mean, we've seen some incidences before. They may not have been in this form, but where journalists have been threatened. From where you are sitting as the National Press Club, how are you slicing this? How are you assessing it?
Our initial concern was that did this have anything to do with his work? And at this point, we can't really confirm. We are waiting for the police to tell us what their investigation is leading them to. The other ones, I think, would be in a better position to confirm if the disappearance had anything to do with his work. But also, what also boggles us is that if it had to do with his work, then why take the girlfriend? She was not a journalist. She had nothing to do with the media industry. So why take her too? So I think that is one part of the puzzle that just leaves us with too many questions.
When last, were their phones off immediately? And when did you, as their loved ones, as colleagues, realize that something is offish here because we haven't heard from this person? Was it on the day, 2 days after the disappearance?
I think the alarm was raised by his staff the following day, his staff at the radio station, when he didn't reach for it. The other ones who raised the alarm that his phone is off, his phones are off, and this is so unlike him. So, I think we became aware almost, not really immediate, but I think a day later.
Okay. Sure. What assistance do you need, Belinda? Is there anything that you would want organizations to do, people to do? How do we assist in helping in your efforts? Or are we now looking just to the police to hear what they say? Is there anything else that can be done? Are you looking for more money to be raised? How do we assist?
At this point, I think we'll wait for police. Also, yesterday during the deputy minister's visit, the police did brief us, and I think for the first time we had police from both provinces in the same room. And this was one of the biggest frustrations for us, is that when you go to Mpumalanga police, they'll tell you that his missing person case is opened in Gauteng, so they're not investigating it. So they wouldn't give us updates or give the family updates. If you go to Gauteng, they'll say we are waiting for Mpumalanga to give us this or do that. So there was that vacuum. But yesterday we got to see that they've really been working. There's a lot of work that has been done. What has been lacking is the communication to the families to assure them that we are working hard. This is where we are. We know, and we're not really expecting a blow-by-blow account of their investigation to say, today we're calling this person or we're doing this or what. But need a weekly update just to assure them that something has been done. But the briefing that we got from them yesterday does show that a lot of work has been done, and we are really hoping that a breakthrough will come soon. Okay. So we'll just wait for them and their announcement. So we are hopeful, though. We are really hopeful that something positive will.
Yeah. We're also helpful, Belinda, and we'll do our best as well to try and check in with the police and hope that they do those constant updates to the family. Thanks to you as the National Press Club, just for the support that you have also given to the family and the efforts that you've made to try and find answers to the disappearance of this journalist in Pretoria. Spare thought, please, for the family of this journalist, the family of the partner as well. They've been missing since February. Let's hope the police will somehow find a breakthrough. We're told that there's some kind of progress that's been made. Maybe they're following up on some leads, and hopefully there'll be answers.
Hanging out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.